happens when people that have been accused of crimes are found not to be able to stand trial for some of the heinous crimes that they have committed, allegedly? Well, it looks like that's exactly what's going to happen to Mike Jeffries. And I know the internet's been talking about Diddy and Jay-Z and all this other stuff, but listen, I need y'all to watch this, okay? Because this is important. I feel like Mike Jeffries is somebody that people have kind of forgotten to report on, and he is very much important. For those that don't know, Mike was indicted for trafficking, okay? There are a total of 8 John Does, essentially used the name of Abercrombie and Finch to recruit these models and basically abuse them, do all kinds of heinous shit to them. It's a lot of counts. We're talking about 9 counts and at least 8 different John Does. And this goes back from like 2008 to 2012, okay? And Mike Jeffries left Abercrombie and Finch as a CEO in 2014. So while he was the CEO of this company, he was perpetrating on these young, aspiring male models, okay? And it wasn't just him, it was him and his partner. I mean, there's been so many things that have been said since the drop of this indictment. Now, he was indicted in October of 2024. So while we've had the Diddy thing, we've had different pieces of news happening, we cannot forget about Mike Jeffries. So let me tell you what is recent about Mike Jeffries that we have going on right now. Did you guys know that currently the lawyers for Mike Jeffries are arguing that he has dementia and he may not be competent to stand trial? Mike Jeffries, the former CEO of Abercrombie and Finch, may have dementia, and a competency hearing is needed to determine if he can face the charges his attorney claims. Now, defense attorneys for Jeffries said in a court papers unsealed Monday, which we have those court papers, by the way, in federal court, that a neuropsychologist who examined Mike Jeffries in October concluded he likely has dementia with behavioral disturbances, Alzheimer's disease, and Lewy body dementia. So Mike Jeffries is 80 years old now. He is free on a $10 million bond after he pled not guilty in October to federal sex trafficking and interstate prostitution charges. So the former CEO was arrested that same month on charges of sex trafficking and engaging in interstate prostitution, with prosecutors claiming Jeffrey leveraged his position as a CEO to lure young men, suggesting that they could model for the fashion company. Now, the lawyers wrote that the neuropsychologist concluded that the cognitive impairments, including impaired memory, diminish attention, processing speed, slowness, and ease of confusion means Jeffries would not be capable of assisting his attorneys. In a joint letter to the judge, the defense lawyers and prosecutors suggest that experts who have evaluated Jeffries testify at a 2-day competency hearing in June so that a ruling on competency can be followed. A spokesperson for prosecutors said Tuesday that the office have no further comment. So Mike Jeffries' arrest came after a 2023 lawsuit filed by an actor alleging that the former CEO ran an trafficking operation targeting aspiring models. Now, in the current case, prosecutors say Jeffries and his romantic partner and a third man lured men into a drug-fueled sex party on Long Island by dangling the promise of modeling for the retailer's ads. So Jeffrey left Abercrombie, in 2014? So prosecutors have alleged that men were sometimes directed to wear costumes, use toys, and endure painful erections, inducing penile injections. And this is, they would make promises of modeling careers. Now, I kind of want to know what you guys think in the comments about this. And this is the joint letter. So this is for the judge. The government and counsel for the defendant, Michael Jeffries, respectfully submits this joint letter with the court's 10/2024 sealed order and related instructions at the status conference on the same day, based on the parties discussed and the fact that the parties intend to call additional experts and non-expert witnesses. The parties estimate that the hearing will last approximately 2 days. So in these 2 days, they're going to have a bunch of experts coming in, to basically testify if he can stand trial. The parties have conferred with each other and jointly proposed June 16th and June 17th of 2025. So Mike Jeffries is probably not going to see if he does stand trial. It's going to be a long time before that happens. And this is going to be for the competency hearing, which dates the parties understand from court deputies are convenient for the court. The parties will update the court if the estimate length of the hearing changes. Okay. The witnesses, now these experts for this competency hearing have to provide statements and reports of those witnesses and others, including raw data, at least 10 days prior to the hearing on the same day. Okay, so they're having to submit any statements that they have prior. All right. Now in the actual attachments, we get to basically to figure out if this man is competent to stand trial. Listen to what the factual arguments and background what the factual background is that was submitted by the attorney. So September 2023, undersigned counsel Brian Bieber was retained by Jeffries to represent him in connection with what turned out to be a federal grand jury investigation and later an indictment. Okay. Now, during the undersigned's initial and lengthy consultation with Mr. Jeffries, the undersigned questioned Mr. Jeffries' attentiveness, focus, competency, and understanding of the legal and factual issues being discussed. The Michael Jeffries who presented himself did not even come close to resembling a master's degree educated individual who was just 9 years earlier the chief executive CEO of a publicly traded company. As such, the undersigned questioned Mr. Jeffries' competency to rationally assist or a sustained and consistent basis counsel in connection with the possible factual and legal defense to the allegations that he was facing. As a result of that concern, the undersigned encouraged Mr. Jeffrey to seek a neuropsychological evaluation and mental health therapy if necessary. So last year, in October 4th, 5th, 11th, 26th, and 2023, Mr. Jeffries was examined by a neuropsychologist, Dr. Jacqueline Valdez, who performed a full neuropsychological evaluation. As a result, a significant neurological deficit was identified. Dr. Valdez initially diagnostic impressions included, but not limited to, so Mr. Jeffries' cognitive impairment being consistent with dementia due to the Lewy body disease, the DLBD. Thus, Dr. Valdez' formal preliminary diagnostic impressions at the time was Lewy body dementia. Further, Dr. Valdez recommended that additional tests related to Mr. Jeffrey's symptoms should be completed, including a dopamine transporter PET scan, recommending additional scans. So in October 2nd of 2024, Dr. Valdez concluded the following testing above yield diagnostic impressions that Mr. Jeffries currently suffers from dementia with behavioral disturbance, Alzheimer's disease with late onset, and Lewy body dementia. And they did attach a copy of Dr. Valdez's, eval, but it's under seal, okay? Further, Dr. Valdez reported that the most debilitating factor in Mr. Jeffrey's current cognitive and physical functioning is that he has a neurodegenerative disease, which is irreversible and will continue to worsen over time. Oh man, okay. And of course, we know there's no cure for Alzheimer's disease, and there's no cure for Lewy body dementia and continued physical and cognitive decline is expected of Mr. Jeffries. So eventually succumb to the disease or die of other medical causes. This man who allegedly has done so much harm to many young men, many young models, aspiring models, who ran this company like a high school cafeteria, who never wanted to age as it's been described, when he did that interview, who has a history of being a racist too, in my opinion, may not be competent to stand trial. Y'all let me know what you guys think in the comments. What do you make of such individuals? Can you imagine, like, if, the likes of Clive Davis was indicted or brought forward, and then they tell you, guess what? He's got dementia. It looks like he won't be able to stand trial. What do you make of that? I'll see you guys on the next one. Rabbits out. Hit the like button. Bye, guys.